Hi. Okay, I think we're live right now. Hopefully it's working. I'm here with a really special guest today. Some of you guys know Stu. Some of you have been excited for him to come on into our group. So right now, we're live in Financial Literacy for Women Business Owners in the Facebook group, on my Facebook page, and on YouTube. You guys, Facebook has been having all kinds of live streaming issues this last week or so. So if we get cut off, make sure to go check out the full version. Will be over on YouTube, and you can even join us live and interact with us over on YouTube. So Facebook does crazy things. I just want to make sure y'all know. Join us over on YouTube or watch the replay over on YouTube. Okay, so Stu McLaren is here. Stu is the membership guy. So if you don't know Stu, you need to know Stu. You need to start following Stu on all the things. But I wanted to bring Stu in here because we've been talking a little bit about recurring revenue, right? And how to add recurring revenue streams into your business that you can depend on. Y'all know I'm the finance person. That's super important to me. So I wanted to bring Stu in here a little bit just to get some of your wheels turning. Some of you guys are already doing his workshop series. If you're not, I need you to go sign up for that right now. The link's above, jamietrull.com/online resources. But I just want to get your wheels turning. So Stu, tell us a little bit. And one of the things that I love that you said, I watched the first workshop series, which the first two are available for replay right now. The next one's tomorrow. You guys need it. Stu only does it once a year. But I loved one of the things that you said, which was, it's not about will a membership work for me. It's how will a membership work for me, right? So what I want to really talk to you about is how would you start to think about that? Tell us a little bit just from your standpoint of how you should start to think about how a membership could fit into your business.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, if the last year has taught us anything, it's that, we just never know what's going to happen, and my heart goes out to all entrepreneurs because you're my people. We pour so much into our business, and, somebody who doesn't own a business or run a business, there's no way that they can understand, all the things that are constantly circling around in our minds, all the time, energy, and effort that we pour into growing our business and serving our customers and audiences. And so I share that because my heart has been blown up into pieces when I have watched entrepreneurs who have spent many times decades growing a business to see it all of a sudden crumble because of something that we had no idea was coming. But then I also know the flip side of this. And the flip side is that those who had recurring revenue in their business didn't experience anywhere near the stress or challenges that those that didn't. And in fact, it was actually the opposite. They have seen a boom in the past year, and we can perhaps unpack that. But the reality is that it doesn't matter what type of business you have, whether it's a product-based business, service-based business, knowledge-based business, or community-based business, you can add a source of recurring revenue. So let's just kind of unpack them. So a product-based business. Let's say one of the best examples of this, which was made famous several years ago, is the Dollar Shave Club. What did they do? They took one product, which was razors, and instead of you having to go to the grocery store or wherever you went to get razors, where they're typically lock and key all locked up, and it was a whole ordeal, they just said, forget that. Let's just make it simple and convenient for people. And so what did they do? You pay on a monthly basis, and they shipped you out razors. So that's an example of a product-based membership. And what I would encourage a product-based business owner to think about is what are my best customers buying on a regular basis? I think of Sarah Williams. She owned still owns a real retail shop. And she was just very observant in seeing what are her best customers coming back and buying again and again and again. And she ultimately turned it into a subscription box where now she sends those items and similar items on a monthly basis. And she's expanded her audience from her local community now to nationwide. And in the last 3 years, she's grown that subscription box from 300 monthly paying customers to more than 3,000 monthly paying customers. Huge difference. What has she done? She's just taken products that her best customers were buying on a regular basis. And instead of hoping that they're going to come back and buy them again, She put it into a subscription box knowing that they would be buying again. So that's a product-based membership. Does that make sense on that one?
So number one, we've got a lot of product-based businesses in here. So that gets you starting to think about, even if you're a retail brick and mortar, this could be something that could apply to you.
Yeah. And we see this like in all kinds of different markets. Like I think of even like last time I was in San Francisco, I was in the mall and I was going to get a green juice and I came up to the counter and they had on the menu like members pricing and non-members pricing. And I was like, whoa, what is this member pricing you speak of? And they just set up a really simple subscription model. They said, you pay $10 a month to become a member, and that gets you 2 green juices a month. And then every green juice thereafter is at the member discounted price. So it's a really simple model, right? But what does that do for the business? It creates stability in the business because they know with certainty that next month they're not starting at 0. They are starting at however many number of members they have who are going to be paying them $10 a month. So it creates that predictability in the business. So a product-based business, that's really straightforward. It's about, thinking about the best products that your best customers are buying on a regular basis, and instead packaging them and delivering them on a regular basis. We see this with like socks of the month, coffee of the month, tea of the month, like all the things of the month. That would be a good example.
We're a member of a winery here that does something similar where we have to buy, we don't have to pay anything for the membership, but you have to buy 2 bottles of wine a quarter. And we're like, we can do that. And then you get a discount on everything above it. So it's genius.
And it just creates, it's actually, and here's the thing, not only does it create stability for, us as business owners, but as consumers, like it's way more convenient, right? Like this is why, big companies like the Amazons, as an example, are setting all of these types of products that we are consuming on a regular basis. They're setting them up to be on subscription because they know that people just love the convenience of not having to worry about that and knowing that it's going to be there. So that's a product-based membership. Yeah. Service-based membership would be for things that we are, typically delivering one time, and we're hoping people are coming back, but instead, with a service-based membership, we know that they're going to come back. So I'll give you an example. So one woman in our community, her name's Mary Claire Fredette, and she's a massage therapist. Now, the old model is that she's hoping that people are going to come back and get another massage and another massage. Well, instead, what she did was she created a membership. And now she knows with certainty that she is going to be paid by her members. And instead of having those roller coaster months of like, oh my gosh, it's a booming. Oh my gosh, where did everybody go? Oh my gosh. Like she doesn't have that because it's now streamlined and it continues to grow. And in fact, I spoke with her last week and she said, ever since she did her founding member launch for her membership, she's never had to launch again because her members have never, they've never canceled. Yeah. So she's just created stability in her business. Yeah. So another example of this, there's a barber shop in Toronto. And what did they do? Instead of hoping that their people are going to come back, they sold a membership, which gets, again, their clients a certain number of cuts. And they know, again, with certainty that they're going to get paid. The car wash that's right across the road from our office. I want you to hear how they've structured the pricing. It's beautiful. You can go through the car wash one time for $9, or you can go through an unlimited number of times for $10 a month. And when I went in to get my subscription for it, I was curious and asked, how many members are you up to? And because they had just opened about, 3 months prior. And she said, well, now we're up to 4,500 monthly paying members. Yep. Like, time out for a second. Like every other car wash in the city is hoping that people are going to come back and go through again. But this car wash, they know with certainty that they're going to get paid by 4,500 monthly customers. And what does that do? That just creates stability, predictability. They can plan, they can invest, they can hire without the worry of like, where is the money going to come from? So that's an example of a service-based membership. Yeah. The next one is the knowledge-based membership. And these are my favorite ones because this is about taking what you already know, love, and do and sharing it with people. And in return for that, people are paying a monthly fee to continue to have access. And we see memberships in all kinds of markets. Like I've been specifically helping people in this space for more than 12 years, helping tens of thousands of people in all kinds of different markets. And it's been incredible. Like, I'll give you an example. Last year, Casey Hope, she sent me this, incredibly powerful message. This was right around March. And this is right when the pandemic hit, and she realized she was going to have to close her brick and mortar art studio. This is where adults and kids were coming in and learning art from her. And she sent me a message and she said, Stu, normally, like if this were to happen with not having a membership, I would be full of fear right now. Like, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to, pay my staff? How am I going to pay myself? She said, but I don't have any of that fear because we've got our membership. And she had a calligraphy membership where she's teaching people calligraphy. And that's the thing that kept her not only stable and afloat, but it has grown over the last year. And she's, in fact, she saw a boom. It was her best year ever. But then what was interesting was a month after that, she sent me another message and she said, Stu, I'm actually launching a second membership. And I said, well, what is this one about? She said, well, I saw an opportunity in the sense that there are now millions of parents at home with young kids, like I'm in that boat, who are all of a sudden thrust into becoming homeschooling parents. And they don't have no idea like what to do with their kids during the day, right? Like we don't want to put them in front of the iPads or whatever. Like we want to keep them proactive. But at the same time, we're trying to juggle like all the things that we would normally be doing while the kids are at school. She said, this is what I did in the art studio. And she said, I realized like I could take what I was teaching the kids in the art studio and I could turn it into a membership. She's taking what she already knew, loved, and did, and she turned it into a membership. And the amazing part about that was that the moment she sold it, it was a huge success right out of the gate. And she welcomed more than 500 plus members from the time from May till the end of the year with that new membership. And so I'm sharing this with you because so often we underestimate what it is that we know, but so many other people are craving the clarity that you can provide. And that's what a knowledge-based membership does. And then the last one is a community-based membership where we're, just in a community with people who that are wanting to find others who are like them. Like I grew up in a small, country town, like cows on one side, corn on the other. So there wasn't a lot of variety in terms of like, if you wanted to pursue or had a unique interest, chances are you weren't going to find somebody in the town that had a similar interest. This is why I love the internet, because it doesn't matter what you're passionate about. There's somebody out there who has a similar passion. And I think about like all the communities that I have learned this year, which are both a combination, in this case, of knowledge-based memberships and community, but like things like decorative door hangers. Like I didn't even know this was a thing until I met Tamara Bennett. And I'm like, Tamara, what is a decorative door? Is that like what you go to the hotel and hang on? She's like, no, Stu. She said, it's like, in the South, she said, we have like a wreath that you'd put on your door. Instead, we have these decorative door hangers. So I was like, oh, wow. And so she teaches people about these decorative door hangers. And when she launched it, she welcomed more than 400 plus people right out of the gate. She's now grown that membership to nearly 2,000 plus members who are all passionate about decorative door hangers. Like I didn't even know this was a thing. And that's my point, is that it doesn't matter what the interest. Now the internet gives us the ability to bring people together. And that's really what a community-based membership is all about.
Yeah. I love all that. I mean, you just summed up all the things in a short amount of time and hopefully got people's wheels turning. If anybody is here, we have like 2 more minutes, but I know we're having a little bit of tech trouble on Facebook, but if anybody wants to put in their business and ask Stu, like, how could a membership work for me? But hopefully that really got you thinking about what you could do, right? And the different ways. It's not all about, now, if you're a coach or a, course creator, like slam dunk membership, you need to have one.
Yes.
But there's so many other types of businesses that this could work for. And you guys know how I feel about recurring revenue. You guys know how hard it can be, right? To budget and hire and all of these things when you have no idea what's going to happen. And this gives you so much more stability and things that you can count on in your business. So hopefully you're thinking about it. I need everybody to go to the link, jamietrull.com/online resources. It is linked above. And I want you to click on that, and I want you to register for the workshop, which has been amazing. 2 of them have already happened, but you can watch the replay instantly. So just like go binge on Stu today, go get your coffee ready and just watch it all, get your notebook. And then the last live session is tomorrow, right, Stu?
Yeah, it is. And, this is kind of where we bring it all together. In the first one, we talked about like, okay, if you've got a foggy idea of what a membership might look like for your market, like, how do you know what type of membership would be a good fit? And, how do you structure that? Well, we talked about that in the first one and giving you the clarity of like, is my market a fit and what type of membership should I, pursue? In the second one, we talked about like, what is the reason why people join a membership and what's the number one tool that every single membership should have that drives both what you provide inside, but also your marketing and your retention. And then in the next one that's coming up tomorrow, like this is where we zoom up and we're going to look at the 5 key areas of a successful membership. For a membership, I'm not just interested in like, welcoming a new member one time. Like I want people who are going to stay for a long period of time. And this is why, we focus heavily on something called retention, which is like keeping people happy. And by the way, what a beautiful business model, right? Like we get the longer we keep people happy, the longer they will stay, which means the more profitable the business becomes. So your goal, my goal is just to keep people happy. And so what we're going to talk about in the 5 key areas is how do you grow a membership that grows year over year over year so that your members don't stay for just a couple months, they stay for years. That's what we're going to unpack and talk about tomorrow. I encourage everybody, come join us live because the energy is amazing. And we've seen more people who have launched their memberships on the back of these trainings than we ever have before. It's so exciting. And what happens is you get swept up in that positive momentum. And I just encourage everybody to come join us live. It'll be so much fun.
Absolutely. And it's totally free, you guys. So this whole workshop series is amazing. There's so much value. Get in there, do the assessment, figure out if it is a good fit for you and just get those wheels turning. But I just want to make sure to put Stu out there, make sure you guys know him. You know how awesome he is. Hopefully you've gotten a flavor for that and you're really thinking about how a membership could work for your business. I'm around for you to ask questions to me about in the group as well, if you're kind of, noodling on things, but I want to be respectful of Stu's time. So we're going to let him go. And we thank you, Stu. We will be seeing you though.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Jamie. And, I think at the end of the day, like, I just really want to encourage every entrepreneur to begin thinking about how could I add recurring revenue into my business? And as I've mentioned, like, I've been working literally with tens of thousands of entrepreneurs for the last 12 plus years. And I can basically give you an idea for a membership site in virtually every single market you can think of, from calligraphy to, calligraphy and fitness and music and art and health and dog training and so many more. Like, it doesn't matter what market you're in, you can do this. And the other side of it is that you can keep it as simple as you want to keep it. And my recommendation is, in the beginning, start simple. It's going to help you gain a heck of a lot more momentum. And more than that, that's what's going to create the stability in your business as your members continue to join and stay part of that membership. And that's what we want as entrepreneurs. We want stability. We want less stress. That's exactly what a membership provides, and which is why big companies like the Amazons, Apples, Netflix, Spotify's, Peloton's, Disney Plus have all moved to a subscription model. And it's why so many other businesses like yours are doing the same thing. So come join us for the free workshop. We'll unpack it some more. Jamie, thanks so much for having me. You're awesome, buddy.
Thanks, Stu. Talk to you later.
See you, gang.